Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're diving into a really interesting source, excerpts from a book called Mastering Market Research and Validation. It's by Julian Kelly.
Right, part of that Blueprints to Business Mastery series.
Exactly. And honestly, reading through it, it really does feel like a manual, like a practical guide for building a business that, actually lasts, not just launches.
Yeah, it cuts through a lot of the fluff, I think. It focuses on the foundational stuff you need before you even get started and then how to keep it going. It's about building smart, not just dreaming big.
For sure. So our mission today is basically to unpack the core ideas from this manual. We want to look at why so many businesses will fail, how you can avoid those common traps, and most importantly, what practical steps you can actually take to build something the market, wants.
Something with staying power. We'll get into identifying customers, looking at competitors, testing your ideas.
Pricing, adapting.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah, the whole roadmap.
Okay, let's unpack this. So let's start with that big reason the manual gives for failure. The market gap problem. What exactly is that?
It's fundamental, really. So often entrepreneurs have this incredible passion, right? They pour everything into an idea.
Yeah, tons of effort.
But they're building based on what they think people want.
Yeah.
An assumption, not based on whether there's a real validated need out there.
Okay. So passion isn't enough. Your brilliant idea has to actually solve a real problem someone has or fill a desire they actually feel.
Precisely. Passion gets you going, but it doesn't mean customers are waiting.
Right.
And this gap shows up in different ways. Maybe the market's just too crowded, Your thing isn't unique enough.
Or the opposite, too niche.
Yeah, or the niche is just too small to support a business. Or, and this is the tricky one, you build this amazing solution for a problem people don't actually care that much about. Or they already have a simple workaround.
The manual gives some great examples here, makes it really clear. Uber and Lyft, right?
Exactly. They didn't just build another taxi app. They tackled real frustrations. Finding a ride, inconsistent pricing, the whole hassle.
They solved problems people actually had.
Which fueled that massive growth. Now, contrast that with Juicero.
Oh, yeah, I remember Juicero.
Yeah.
High tech, lots of money.
Super innovative machine, beautiful design. But the main thing it did, squeezing a juice pack.
You could just do it by hand. Easier, even.
Right. So they built this complex solution for a problem that, for most people, just wasn't really there. And, well, it failed spectacularly.
Wow. That just hammers home the point, doesn't it? Relying on assumptions versus actual research and data.
The manual is really strong on this. You have to do rigorous market validation before you invest heavily. Time, money, energy, all of it.
Prove the demand exists. Don't just hope it does.
And, another key thing is that not every gap you find is actually a viable business opportunity.
Right. Just because there's a gap doesn't mean you could build something sustainable there.
Exactly. Maybe the market's too small to be profitable, or the cost to serve them is too high, or people just won't change their habits. It takes research, adaptability, and always focusing on what the customer truly needs and values.
It's fascinating how easily your own excitement can, blind you to the market reality. You need to shift your mindset.
Yeah, you have to become more of an investigator, looking for evidence, not just the inventor who's in love with their creation.
That's a great way to put it. Investigator, not just inventor.
No.
Okay, so if you adopt that mindset, the next step the manual lays out is finding the people in that potential market gap, your ideal customer.
This is so crucial. Trying to appeal to everyone, it just doesn't work. You end up appealing to no one.
Yeah, message gets diluted.
Successful businesses know their target audience deeply, not just age and location, the basic demographics.
Deeper than that.
Oh, yeah. Psychographics. What are their desires? What keeps them up at night? Their habits, their values. Why do they make decisions? The manual stresses precision here.
And again, the warning is, don't just assume you know them.
Never assume. Talk to them. Surveys, interviews, listen online forums, social media, competitor reviews. You need data and direct feedback.
Because people buy solutions, right? Not just products or features. The manual had that great example.
Well, the scheduling app.
Yeah. Instead of just saying saves time, it's helps busy working moms plan their day without feeling overwhelmed. Much more specific. It's an emotional pain point.
Exactly. And you test these assumptions early with small groups. That's where the MVP, minimum viable product, comes in.
Right. The simplest version that actually solves the core problem.
Yeah. Could be a basic prototype, a landing page, whatever lets you see if people engage and, crucially, if they'd actually pay.
The manual also talks about empathy mapping, like really trying to step into their shoes.
Yeah, what are they seeing every day? Hearing, feeling. What are their biggest obstacles related to the problem you solve? It gives you insights you just can't get from numbers alone.
And looking at who's already buying from you, if you have customers, or even who's buying from your competitors. Lots of clues there.
And just as important, knowing who your customer isn't helps you stay focused, avoids wasting resources.
Using customer personas can help too, right?
Yeah.
Like creating those fictional profiles based on Jada. Sarah, the 35-year-old designer, makes it feel real.
Definitely. Makes the target tangible for the whole team. But it's key to remember this isn't a one-time thing. Markets change, people change. You have to keep listening.
Understand their journey too, how they find you, interact.
Right. Tailor your approach. Case studies for researchers, social proof for others. It depends.
Okay, so you've got the who. The manual then says you need to understand their world, the competitive landscape.
Exactly. Customer is one piece, competition is the other.
Can't ignore them, but shouldn't obsess either.
That's the balance. Ignoring them, you get blindsided. Obsessing, you lose your own way. The goal is strategic study. Find gaps, refine your own position, make smarter moves.
And the manual breaks down the types. Direct, indirect.
Right. Direct competitors offer something very similar to a similar audience. Indirect might target the same audience, but with a different solution. Think meal kits versus grocery delivery.
And substitute competitors.
That's anything else customers might use to solve the underlying problem. Could be a totally different approach, like using a spreadsheet instead of your fancy project management software.
So how do you study them strategically?
Look beyond the product. Check their website, their marketing messages, social media. How do they talk? What do customers say in reviews?
Reviews are gold mines, right? Complaints especially.
Absolutely. Customer frustrations are your potential opportunities. Also, look at their pricing. Premium. Budget. How do they justify it?
And the manual warns against just being the cheapest.
Definitely. That's usually a losing game. Focus on the value you add that justifies your price.
Look at their marketing too. Where are they active? What content works?
Use it as a benchmark. Don't just copy, but see what resonates and maybe what they're missing.
The SWOT analysis idea is good too. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, but apply to them.
Yeah. If a big competitor is known for, say, terrible customer service, bam! That's your opportunity to shine with amazing support.
But you can also learn from what they do well.
For sure. Maybe they have a really smooth onboarding process or a great community. Learn the principles, then apply them your way.
And like customer research, this isn't just a one-off task.
Nope. The competitive landscape is always shifting. You got to keep your eyes open. It's all about gathering intelligence to make your business stronger and stand out.
Okay, so gap identified, customer understood, competition analyzed. Now comes the really critical part, according to the manual. Testing the idea before you go all in.
This is huge. It's where you have to shift from being the passionate inventor to the objective investigator.
Seeking proof.
Seeking proof that people actually want it and will pay for it. You have to be ready to hear no or maybe but, and actually listen to that feedback.
The simplest way, the manual says, is just talking to people, potential customers.
Yeah, seems basic, but it's powerful. And often skipped because, well, it can be uncomfortable. Fear of rejection is real.
But that feedback is gold.
Pure gold. Find them where they hang out, online groups, forums, events, and the way you ask is key. No leading questions like, isn't this awesome?
More like, what's your biggest challenge with X? Open-ended.
Exactly. Problem-focused. Then there's the MVP we mentioned.
Minimum viable product, the bare bones version.
Right. Just enough to solve the core problem and see if people bite. Validate engagement, validate willingness to pay before building everything. Think about how Dropbox started just a simple video explaining the idea.
Pre-selling too. Get people to commit up front.
Super powerful validation. If people will pay for a promise, that's a strong signal. If nobody pre-orders, that's a big red flag.
Crowdfunding platforms are basically giant public tests for this.
Totally. Kickstarter, Indiegogo, you get funding and proof of market appeal. Even failed campaigns teach you a lot.
A/B testing different versions of things. Landing pages, headlines.
Data-driven optimization. See what actually works better.
Small ad campaigns too, like on Facebook or Google.
Yeah, cheap way to gauge interest. See if people click, sign up. Or for services, maybe a small local pilot program. Test it in the real world.
The main thing is staying objective, right? Being willing to change based on what you learn.
Absolutely critical. It's tough when it's your baby, but you must be open to the data, even if it's not what you hoped for. Often, a small tweak based on testing makes all the difference.
It feels like slowing down, but it actually speeds things up. by avoiding building the wrong thing.
Exactly. It minimizes risk and maximizes your chances of building something people actually want. It's the faster path to real success.
Which raises that crucial question. When you get feedback, are you truly listening to potentially change your idea or just seeking confirmation?
That's something everyone needs to ask themselves. And that willingness to listen feeds right into the next piece, pricing and value perception. Because once you know people want it, what are they willing to pay?
Right. Price isn't just a number, the manual says. It's a message.
Totally. It communicates value, quality, positioning. Too low, maybe people doubt the quality. Too high, without justification. You scare them off.
And the big mistake is basing it just on your costs.
Huge mistake. Your costs are your problem. Customers buy based on the value they perceive they're getting.
So, value-based pricing. Pricing based on the benefit to the customer.
Exactly. What is solving their problem worth to them? Requires that deep audience understanding again.
Perceived value. The coffee example is perfect. $2 generic versus $6 fancy cafe.
You're paying for the experience, the brand, the feeling, not just the caffeine. That's perceived value.
The manual covers different strategies too, like penetration pricing, skimming.
Subscriptions, bundling, psychological stuff like $9.99, lots of tools in the toolbox.
Framing matters too, not just $99 a month, but
Spend less than $3.30 a day to save hours of work. Connect it directly to the benefit, make it relatable.
and discount it carefully. Maybe value-added promotions instead of just slashing prices.
Right. Adding bonuses or bundling maintains perceived value better than just constant sales.
Price sensitivity varies, obviously. Need to find that sweet spot for your audience.
Market research helps there. Premium buyers expect premium prices. Budget shoppers expect deals.
And it's not set it and forget it. Pricing is dynamic.
Gotta be ready to adjust based on the market, competitors, where your business is at. It's about communicating benefits, differentiating, and justifying the price with clear value.
So the question becomes, are you focused on your costs or on the value you deliver to the customer?
Critical difference. But, even if you do all this right research, testing, pricing, sometimes the market just doesn't respond like you expected.
Yeah, that's where pivoting comes in.
Essential skill. It's not failure. It's a strategic change based on feedback when things just aren't clicking.
The manual gives those famous examples. Instagram wasn't always Instagram.
Nope. Started as Burbnet, a check-in app. YouTube was a video dating site. Slack came out of a gaming company.
Wow. So they listened, learned, and weren't afraid to make a big shift.
Exactly. They adapted. Identifying the need isn't just about slow sales. It's when you've tried different things, tested assumptions, and you're still not getting traction. Then you have to ask why.
Customer feedback is key there. Price, execution.
Or maybe they're solving the problem totally differently. Industry trends matter too. Technology changes, habits change. Think Blockbuster ignoring streaming.
Ouch.
Pivots can be changing your target audience, changing the product features, changing the whole business model.
From one-time sale to subscription, maybe. B2C to B2B.
All sorts of possibilities. And it can be emotionally tough letting go of the original vision.
Yeah, that attachment.
But the manual says clinging to a failing idea is worse. Treat the setback as data. Pivot strategically based on evidence. Test small changes first.
What about credibility? People might think you don't know what you're doing.
Actually, a well-communicated pivot often builds credibility. Shows you're responsive, adaptable. Investors like that. Customers respect it.
So communicate clearly. Why the change, what's changing, the benefits.
Keep stakeholders in the loop. And check your finances. Do you have the resources for the pivot?
It's challenging, but potentially game-changing. Adaptability is key.
It's about making the right changes, not just any change.
Got to figure out what the problem is. Product, price, audience, message.
Sometimes it's a small tweak, clearer language. Sometimes it's fundamental.
Listening to early adopters, reading reviews helps pinpoint it.
Maybe you realize your ideal customer is actually mid-sized businesses, not small ones. That's a pivot.
Or maybe the revenue model needs rethinking. Tiered pricing, premium.
Always use data, not just gut feelings. Test changes small scale first. A/B test messages, limited feature releases.
Partnerships could help too.
Yeah, maybe align with another brand, access a new market, but ultimately it takes resilience. Every rejection is a chance to learn and improve.
Okay, so getting those insights for pivoting or refining, the manual strongly suggests structured feedback, surveys, and focus groups.
These are your direct lines to the audience. Less guessing, more data.
Surveys. Scalable, quantitative, good for patterns, preferences across many people.
Key is good questions. Clear, unbiased. No leading questions. Mix open-ended with multiple choice. Scales.
Focus groups. More depth, qualitative. The why behind opinions. You see reactions.
Can uncover unexpected things, but you need a good, objective moderator to avoid groupthink.
And for both, targeting the right people is crucial.
Absolutely. Use email lists, social media targeting for surveys. For focus groups, get a mix potentials, existing customers, even some skeptics.
Analyzing the data. Surveys give you stats, graphs. Focus groups give you themes, emotions.
Combining them gives the best picture. Balanced view.
And this research feeds directly into marketing, right? Finding the language that resonates.
Totally. Refine your messaging, your branding, your sales approach based on what you hear.
And it's not just a one-time thing. Ongoing feedback loop.
Before launch, during rollout, after launch. Keep the conversation going.
Challenges exist, though. Low survey responses.
Offer incentives, maybe. Keep them short. Share the results back. For focus groups, manage the group dynamics carefully.
Ultimately, these tools reduce risk. Validate before you spend big.
Huge risk mitigation. Confirm the need, test concepts, pricing. Saves a ton of pain later. It bridges assumption and reality.
So craft good questions, get a representative sample, analyze thoroughly, and act on it.
Exactly. And doing it regularly builds that customer-focused reputation.
What stands out to you about using these? How could they give you direct feedback right now?
Thinking about that feedback, it leads right into the final piece. Your unique selling proposition or USP. Once you know what customers want, you got to tell them why you're the best choice.
Right, USP. That core reason someone picks you over everyone else. It underpins everything, brand, marketing.
It answers, why buy from you? And it's often more than price or features. It could be the experience, the community, how you solve their specific problem better.
And you find it by listening to customers, their values, pain points.
Leveraging all that research, it has to speak to their needs, their hopes, ideally connect emotionally.
The examples are great. Apple. Simplicity, innovation, lifestyle.
Dollar Shave Club. Convenience, affordability, personality. They stood out.
Specificity is key, the manual says, not just high quality.
Right. Be precise. Ethically sourced materials for durable, eco-friendly apparel. Not just great service, but 247 live support with real humans. Specificity sticks.
And it has to be everywhere. Website, social media, team training.
Consistency is crucial. Reinforces the message. And a strong USP often means not trying to be for everyone. Serve your ideal audience exceptionally well.
And it might need to evolve.
Markets change, needs change. If it's not working, revisit it. It's about clarity, consistency, connection. That's how you get loyal advocates.
Questions to ask. What problem do we solve better? Why us over them? What specific benefit or emotion do we offer?
And it doesn't have to be revolutionary. It could be amazing customer service, a unique quality process, even a compelling founder story. That local coffee shop example.
Right. Only organic, locally sourced coffee delivered daily. Simple, clear differentiator.
Test your USP too. A/B test wording. Small changes can matter.
And it should influence product development, training, everything.
If you're struggling, chances are the USP is weak or unclear. Refining it can change everything. When you nail it, marketing, sales, retention, it all gets easier.
Okay, we've covered the how-to. The manual also points out common mistakes in research that can derail everything.
Yeah, knowing the pitfalls is just as important. Research is only good if you do it right and apply it strategically.
Mistake 1. Just going with your gut. Assumptions instead of data.
Your gut's a starting point, maybe, but it needs validation. Assumptions lead to products nobody wants. Ask, then listen.
Mistake 2. Biased questions. Don't you love this?
Gets you useless answers, need neutral, open questions, and don't just ask your fans, talk to skeptics too. Get diverse views.
Mistake 3. Ignoring competitors.
You don't need to copy them, but you need to know the landscape to find your unique space. Otherwise, you might launch something generic.
Mistake 4. Misinterpreting the data. Looking at vanity metrics.
Yeah, like website traffic without conversions, or interest without sales. Dig deeper. Look for actionable insights, not just nice-looking numbers.
Mistake 5. Bad timing. Too early, too late.
Markets move fast. Research needs to be iterative, ongoing, not just a pre-launch thing.
Mistake 6. Not segmenting data. Treating everyone the same.
Big mistake. Different groups have different needs. Segment by demographics, behavior. Tailor your strategy.
Mistake 7. Ignoring the negative feedback.
It hurts, but it's where the lessons are. Shows you where to improve unmet needs. Embrace the criticism.
Mistake 8. Skipping real-world tests, relying only on surveys.
Surveys and focus groups help, but nothing beats seeing if people will actually buy it via an MVP or pilot. Real behavior is the ultimate test. Mistake 9. Thinking research is a one-time job. Markets evolve constantly. Old data is dangerous. It has to be continuous.
Mistake 10. Too small a sample size.
Can lead to skewed results. Need enough responses, enough diverse people for the insights to be reliable. Hundreds for surveys, multiple focus groups. Mistake 11. Focusing only on analytics tools may be the wrong metrics. Likes don't equal sales. Combine quantitative data, sales conversions, with qualitative interviews, reviews for the full picture.
And 12. Keeping research separate from everything else.
It needs to inform product, marketing, sales, service, everything. It's integrated. Avoiding these boosts your research effectiveness hugely.
Okay, so pulling it all together, the manual aims to create a blueprint for a research-backed, market-ready business.
Right. It circles back to research and validation being ongoing, not just checkboxes. You need a structured approach, KPIs to track progress.
Key performance indicators, right?
Yeah.
Things you can measure.
Like customer acquisition cost, lifetime value, satisfaction. Guide your decisions with data. And keep talking to customers. They're your best resource.
That feedback loop idea is powerful. Customers see their input matters.
Build huge loyalty. Businesses that listen adapt better. Period.
But balance data with intuition, too. It's a guide, not rigid rules.
Exactly. Research informs. It doesn't dictate every single move. Stay flexible. Exercise judgment.
The manual ends with that great checklist. A final gut check.
Yeah. 1. Ideal customer identified.
Yep.
2. Competitors analyzed. Check. 3. Idea validated. Will people pay? Crucial.
4. Pricing strategic based on value. 5. Clear USP defined.
6. Common research mistakes avoided. And 7. Willing to pivot if needed.
It really sums it up. It's about building something sustainable by reducing risk and staying tuned in.
The market never stops changing. So stay curious, keep learning, be adaptable.
And ultimately, you have to do it. Execute. Don't get stuck analyzing forever.
Start small, test, refine, learn from failures. Seek mentors, build your network. Research gives you an edge, but you got to take action. Trust your vision, but validate it.
It's challenging, no doubt, but that's how you build something real.
Okay, let's unpack this. We've covered a lot today, digging into the blueprints for mastering market research and validation.
For sure. From spotting that market gap, understanding customers, analyzing competitors, the absolute necessity of testing.
Pricing based on value, knowing how to pivot, using surveys and focus groups effectively, nailing your USP, and crucially, avoiding those common research mistakes. It really is a solid framework.
So the big takeaway, building a successful business isn't luck or just pure passion.
No, it's diligent research, it's strategic adaptation based on feedback, it's focusing relentlessly on solving real problems for real people, and having the discipline to listen even when the market tells you something hard.
Requires objectivity, resilience, continuous learning.
Absolutely. So here's something provocative to chew on as we wrap up. If your business idea feels absolutely perfect to you, totally flawless, ready to launch right now, is that a sign it's truly market ready?
Or could it be a sign you haven't done enough tough research yet, haven't challenged your assumptions enough to find the flaws and refinements needed for real success?
Something to think about.
Definitely food for thought on your journey. Keep digging, keep learning, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.